Hey, we're back. Hey, you know what? Hi. Here we are on the Smokin Jim Show once again. We've had a few technical difficulties. How about that? That's a big fat surprise. But for some reason, Judy, who is our guest, she needs to hook up to her laptop, and the hardwire won't work. And I don't know the password to the wireless because that's my nephew's setup, and he's not here right now. So what we're just going to have to do is just chit-chat and try to enthrall everybody and have some fun and just relax. It's okay. Right?
Okay.
So, welcome Bailey, who's sitting out with a cup of coffee right now.
Oh, thank you.
To Bailey's left is Judy, who's our guest tonight, and she is going to discuss with us Ascension and how it works and where we are, where we've been, and that kind of thing, right?
And I will give out a lot more information to you guys, but I need some backup on my computer to do that. But I'll look over some generality and things to do tonight, and I will get those things out to you the next time we meet on the radio.
Okay, just make sure like you got to talk as clearly as you can into the mic. I mean, it's a good
Okay.
mic, but you got to talk
All
up.
right, and tell me if I'm close enough. I do want to be heard.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I think I was asking both Jim and Bailey if they were working toward Ascension, or if they knew that they were in Ascension, or what they knew about it. Because a lot of people get questions given to them a lot, and they're part of Ascension, and they're learning to go into Ascension, but they don't really know what to ask. They don't know where they are. So that's why we're kind of starting at a baseline here.
Well, I think everybody would like to hear the basics and a baseline because otherwise they're just going to get really, really confused.
Yeah.
But
and
what's
I
happening?
can ask you some questions and find out pretty quickly where
All
you
right.
are. And there's some things that happen to you when you're Ascension. You might just think it's physical problems, but it's not a physical problem for you. There are things that are going on with you right now. Your DNA is being changed as we speak.
My DNA.
Your very DNA is increasing. It's being made to be larger than it is. It's being worked on by the Galactic Federation, and there are many starships around us right now. I don't know if you believe that, but that's part of Ascension. They're here to help us in many, many ways. They've done much work for a long time to make this come to pass at this time.
Okay, so wait, what you're saying? So the Ascension is being helped along by actual physical beings.
Yes, and they're on other star places, but their starships are here now. Okay?
So what is the benefit for them
Well,
to
what
do this?
Ascension actually is we as a collective human throughout the world, our collective consciousness is being raised to a higher vibration than it ever has before in your life.
I can't do anything about it.
It's the commercial.
I had to go and physically shut it down. It's
Yeah.
part of those technical things.
When you go into, we're on UStream. It plays. I'm not going to pay $900 a month for this yet, so we have to deal with commercials. I got one now. It's the cop and the pig. Anyway,
Okay.
it'll fit itself in. So go ahead. So
Are we online?
yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just didn't know where to come back in.
No, that's okay.
We are in the process and have been in this process for a long time. And what the process actually is our vibration as humans is being raised to a much higher vibration.
Okay. When you say a long time, what is a long time?
Oh, hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
They've been working. The ETs have been doing a lot of work for a long time to make this culmination of what's happening. Ascension. I'm trying to. It's more than a one sentence thing. That's why I'm giving you so much information here at one time. So let me kind of go over the broad thing here before we start asking questions.
All right.
And then you ask questions from that if you want, because I think it's easier for you to understand. But Ascension
Okay.
actually is the raising of your vibration. We live in a 3D, or three-dimensional state here on Earth. That's just a fact.
Yes.
Okay? Now, we are to move into another state, which if we go to another planet even, that's a different dimensional context, and it's a higher vibration. The people that are helping us, they have very high vibrations. They have more knowledge than we do. And we need to get to a higher vibration so we can utilize what they have to help us with. Now, we're in 3D and we're moving into 5D. Actually, we're right there on 5D. Half the time I'm in 5D already.
Well, 5D means
5D
space
is a higher
time.
vibration than 3D.
Right, but it's
okay?
like,
We are in a 3D vibration now.
Right, but what, as far as like scientists here and physicists, know at
Scientists
this point,
use 3D, 5D too.
there's 3D and like 5D is 4 and 5D are kind of the same thing. It's space time.
Yeah, we've already kind of passed through 4D already. We're working at going everybody and the Earth itself going into 5D and higher right now. Okay, but you started at 3D. We're going to 5D now. But to do that, our personal energy vibration as a human is having to be raised to move there. Okay, and this what's happening too as far as our vibration being raised. This has never happened in all of history, that the humans' vibration is being raised the same time Mother Earth's vibration is being raised, and humans and Earth are being raised to go together
Go where?
into a higher vibration.
Okay,
We're
well,
moving in space to a higher vibrational level.
so you're saying another dimension.
Yes.
Okay, so and this is going to sound silly, but I just want to clarify, I mean, at least in my own mind here, that if somebody were to be off Earth, like, say on the moon or like in a spacecraft or something, and the Earth were to suddenly ascend into a higher vibration, would the Earth just disappear from in front of them?
No. You're going to go where you need to go, so don't feel like you're going to be left out. Okay? It's hard to tell someone, wherever you are, it is known where you are at every second of every day. So if you're not in Dallas and this happens, if you're in New York or if you're in Florida or if you're in California, you're not in your home, it's known.
Right.
It's known where you are. You're not going to be left behind through anything. And that seems to be your question, is being left behind.
Well, yeah, is there going to be like a physical, okay, this sounds an awful lot like the rapture that is described
I don't deal
in
with rapture. I don't deal with religion.
Well, I know, but that sounds like it though.
No.
I mean,
no.
kind of similar, like we're all going to be raised up.
No. Let's just deal with this right now, because this is the true reality of what's happening to you. People may call things by different names, but it doesn't make it right.
Right, but I like to have some kind of a context where we might have something to grasp on to understand better what
You
you're
may
saying.
not have anything to do this, but it's never happened in all history.
Well, you
okay?
understand it, right?
Oh yes, but I understand a lot of things that people don't understand.
Well,
I just know things. I've always known things, which I think is what I was trying to relate a little bit. Since I was a child, I've always known things that people didn't know. I've known them inside me, and I knew that they were real.
Okay, well, did you know these things because you were told or because you just
No,
sensed
they're
it?
just in my knower.
In your knower. Okay, I get it.
I like that. No, may I use that?
Yes, of course. And when I have that, when I know that I know, that's nothing else. Now, I may not know the intricacies of how every little piece is going to fit during that time, but I know things that are going to happen, okay? And ever since, like I said, since I was a child, I've known things.
And things that have happened that you
Oh, yes.
knew were going to happen actually have happened?
Oh, yes, yes.
Because, I mean, I must say, no disrespect intended, there are a lot of people you can find out there who say, oh, I know this.
Oh, sure. I understand
And they
that.
can say
And
the same
that happens
thing.
every day of your life, so that's another reason to be careful about where you get your knowledge.
All right, so why would your knowledge be stronger or more, why would I want to listen to you instead of somebody else, for instance?
Number one, that's where my intent is. I intend to grow in knowledge every day. Your knowledge doesn't stop when you're out of school. Your knowledge doesn't stop when you finish one job and go to another. Your knowledge is forever. You're not ever limited, but you have to go with it. Some people sit down in a chair at 55 and say, I'm through. Well, I don't think so. It's forever. It's limitless. And you will learn forever if you allow yourself to do that. You can not allow yourself to learn anything.
Okay, so
You're
those
gonna-
who want to sit and just not learn anymore, what happens to them with this ascension? I mean, you said nobody's
Okay.
left behind, but are they just kind of
It's
left as
not
kind of
like
a void?
a one-time shot for everybody. Everybody's going to the same place. Everyone hasn't gained the same knowledge. You are going to eventually end up in the same place. But let's say you're going ascension. Let's just say ascension has happened, and those who had prepared for ascension could help people now prepare also. Okay, that are not ready, and that's a big deal. This is a huge, huge, huge project. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Now, if you're not ready, if you haven't done anything for ascension, if you don't want to wake up, waking up is the biggest thing because people love to stay in what they know. No,
Right.
you've got to learn more. You've got to learn more. You've got to challenge yourself, and you've got to ask for that help. There's so much help to be given to you by angels. There's so many realms of help you could get help from in the spirit.
Right. Okay. But you're also talking about ETs. You said for the past, for a few hundred years, whereas other things I've read and studied have been going on for like as long as Earth has been around. So what you're saying seems to be something that's very new.
Not exactly. They in the heavenly realms, they are not allowed to just come do things for you unless you're in danger. At that point, they
Right.
are.
I believe that. It's free will. You have to ask.
Yes, you have free will, and you can do whatever you want with free will. Now, hopefully, you'll go toward the good part of free will and not toward the dark energies. But if you're going into free will and you're going toward the white light or the white energies or the good energies, you're going to continue. But anyway, we got off track here for a minute, and I forgot exactly our question here again. But
Pretty much where you came from.
where I came from and why I'm learning this, I've always
Pretty
just
much the
known
same
that
question.
There was more to I've always known that there was more than what I've been taught. I've always known that, and I'll tell you one example. In 2005, I just finally became really weary. And I said, please, just show me. I know there's more than I know. And I know that there's more than I've been physically taught by people on this earth. And I said, would you just please verify all of this for me and show me where to go? And since that time, knowledge has continued to come to me and continued to come to me. And I know it. When I see it, I know it's true. When I hear it, I know it's true or not. So...
Well, wait. Have you ever, like you say, you know it's true? Have you ever been wrong?
Wrong.
Like it's true, then something shows you that, well, maybe I wasn't right.
No.
That maybe there was a
There's
misinterpretation
addition to
somewhere.
things sometimes it's like you have on a dress. You could add a jacket to the dress. It still looks great. It still wears well. You
Mhm.
can add a coat if you get cold. It's kind of like you're layering knowledge. You're always layering knowledge. But there are some things in particular that's just truth. That that basic truth is true. Okay? There's so many things that you layer in the spirit because there are just so many factions. You couldn't even tell everything in a week's time if you just started talking.
All right.
But you learn those things. If you learn to accept truth here, then you're allowed to go to truth at a higher level. Okay? You know that everything couldn't fit in this body. Okay? You couldn't take it all in all at once. You just wouldn't fit.
Okay, so what are you saying is that, as you're on a path of learning things,
Yes.
you can't, obviously, like it's like going to school. You can't advance to grade 5 unless you've done 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So it's the same in the spirit.
Well, who says you're ready, though?
You do yourself. You have a higher self that you can tap into anytime you want to. And your higher self knows everything for you, and they know the best things for you. So get in the habit of always tapping into your higher self.
Well,
Any questions that you have for yourself.
I must say that every different facet of this kind of way of thinking, this kind of energy ascension, that kind of thing, has always said there's a higher self. That's a very
higher
big
self.
focal point on this whole thing.
Yes, and each person, each human, as we think of as human, they have their own path. So my path is not your path, except that we're both going to ascension.
So like all roads lead to the same place.
Eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, yes. I mean, even the bad roads,
Eventually.
I mean, I don't really believe there's any such thing as hell.
No, I don't either.
I mean, we can create one for ourselves, but then once we get there, we turn around like, oh, that was stupid.
So
you go on to do something else.
You can create some really bad things for yourself, okay?
Well, I kind of personally believe that when you die, when you cross over, you are going to see exactly what you expect.
Exactly, but you live that way now. And when you try to teach someone things here now in the spirit, their knowledge of accepting whatever you give them is greatly tainted by what they've learned on this earth from whatever teachers taught them any of that knowledge. if it came from your parents, or if it came from your religion,
Ugh.
or whatever else, their acceptance of knowledge for a long time is going to be tainted right there. But doesn't
okay.
mean they can't realize truth. They just may not want to live in that yet. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, I think I do. The things you were saying are a little different from other things that I've learned
Okay, it
and
should be.
other things that I've read, but there are still some core truths in it that I believe in that seem, like I said, what the heck was I talking about before? There are certain things that seem to be evident in every kind of sect of this kind of way of thinking.
See, humans especially are real bad about linear thinking. Linear thinking is you have this thing programmed in your head, and it has to be in there. You know, it has to be that. It has to come from that. No, it doesn't. It can't. But humans are bad about linear thinking. It has to be right down this road, or it's not right. It has to be right down this road, or it's not good. And then that perception is a fallacy.
Well, the perceptions, I think, what one doesn't understand, one
Right.
fears, and then what one fears, one hates.
Well, you just don't understand if you're in linear thinking. Now, if you'll just stop and just kind of empty your mind, and you'll be willing to be taught things, then you can learn anything you want. But to fight what you're being taught, that you're just holding on to linear thinking. And the linear thinking is just going to keep you behind. It's not going to push you forward. We've had energies come through here in December, which were great, great energies to come through the Earth's reality as we think of reality. Actually, it's just a hologram. We live in a hologram. But these
Well, that
energies
seems
are
kind
different.
of.
Let me finish this. These energies are different energies than we've ever experienced before, and they're part of the ascension. But they're bigger energies. They're more powerful energies. They're more widespread energies. We had energy come through on December the 12th, and we had big energies come through on December the 21st that really will push us forward into having different attitudes so we can begin to grow in ascension.
See, none of this seems very simple. It sounds like I'm getting into like algebra here.
No, but
It's
the world is built on numbers.
Huh?
The world is built on numbers.
Yeah, but it's the interpretation of the numbers that makes it difficult.
You have to go into your higher self, like I'm saying. You can't skip over things and think you can learn things down here.
But if this is a nature thing, if this is natural, this is what is.
It is, but you've been programmed to be unnatural for so long.
Yeah, but
You must
still nothing bad
deprogram
can happen to
yourself.
you, right?
Pardon me?
Nothing bad can happen to you.
You can create anything you want, good or bad.
Well, I know, but nothing bad is out there waiting for you unless you create it, I should say. So the universe, and I say the universe as a whole, as all encompassing of everything we're talking about, every idea
This
and philosophy we
universe, there are
have.
many universes.
Well, yes, our universe, our current universe. Everything in it is good in a way. I mean, there's nothing out there is really trying to hurt you.
Well, the
Oh,
universe
dear.
itself is not trying to hurt you, but there are things that have happened to our universe that have put us in an enslavement. And people don't realize that they're enslaved by these things. And you keep continuing to live in this because that's all you know. That's what you've been taught. That's what you've been pounding in your head all your life. And you're still in those things. And people don't realize they're enslaved in these things. But you're enslaved in the thoughts that you've been taught. And whether those things were true or not, you're still enslaved in those thoughts and ways of thinking. Those things need to go away. What's always happened in the past, too, those things ended in December. They ended in December the 20th.
Okay, wait. When you said that,
Hold
what
on.
things, what
Hold
ended
on.
in December?
Hold on. Anything you did in the past, on December 20th, that ended. You must have new energies. You must have the new thoughts. Because that's what's going to take you forward into ascension. Let's just say things that you do every day in life. If you had a way of dealing with problems before December 20th, those things won't work in the new world. They won't work in the new energies. And you may have noticed those things already in your life. Well, I used to do that way. Well, you can't do that way anymore. You need to find different ways and new things that are helping the world and the environment that we live in and the world environment. This is not just a U.S. change. This is world change. And as the planet Earth changes, the other societies around us on different planets, they're also upgrading. We're not the only ones getting an upgrade. All the other planets are also getting upgraded. It's like we're in a spiral.
You see, when you talk about other planets, you mean other inhabited planets, not necessarily our solar system. There's planets elsewhere in the galaxy, or in the universe. I mean, there
This
are
universe.
billions of galaxies.
Yes, there are many universes. We just happen to think of ours because we're more familiar with our universe.
Well, we're also in the third dimension here.
Right. Which is the lowest, and the dullest, and the thickest. And we want to be a higher vibration. We want to know more. We want to experience more. We want better things than what we've been enslaved in.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this, though. Let me make this statement here, because that seems to me like a common lament amongst preteens and teenagers. I want to be older. I want to be able to do this. I can't do this until I'm this age. I want to drive. I want to vote. I want to be able to rent a car. I want to be able to drink alcohol. And I am so much wanting to be at a higher level of my existence now than I am right now, right?
Let me just ask you this.
Well, wait, let me
Did you ever know a
no, no.
teenager who didn't want those things?
Exactly,
all
but
your
isn't that the
life?
same thing?
No,
That
it's
it'd be
not.
kind of like the same thing. We want to ascend, we want to be higher, but we have to kind of go through the steps to do it. Otherwise,
have to
it's
go
you
through
get in
some
trouble.
steps.
You get arrested.
You do have to go through some steps, but these are learning steps for you, and you're not a child any longer. Don't think in childish ways. Learn what's coming to you. There's
Childlike
so much,
ways.
There is so much here for you to learn now that's never been available. Never been available, but it's here. And what it's taken me, 30 years to learn some things, I can relate to some people now, and they can learn those things in 15 minutes. They may not use them. They may not be aware of using them in everyday life, or be able to use them, but now they have it in their knowledge that this is a truth. This is not a fantasy. This is a truth. Now I have to walk in that.
Kind of like algebra.
Well, I'm not denying algebra is important. Like I said, the world
But what I
built
mean is
on
the whole
that.
point is that you think like, what is this? I don't understand this. What the heck does this mean? I'm not going to need this. All of a sudden, like you're in some, oh shit, this is algebra. I knew this in high school. What I'm saying is,
But you never knew these new things. They've never been available to you.
well, these things that we are absorbing and learning are kind of like bits and pieces of a puzzle, which is all jumbled up in a box, and we can't see the big picture. But but
can
people
see it.
slowly, are putting these pieces together to understand
Well,
what they're
let's
supposed
just
to be
say it
looking
like
at.
this. The consciousness of the world has grown greatly in the last 5 years. It's been growing for a long time, but a very slow rate. But now it's been growing faster, so that the entire world as we know the world. Okay, I'm talking about that just right now. But the entire consciousness of all humans as we know humans has been growing at a very fast rate lately. It'd be great if it was just really a lot faster, but it's where it is, and it's where it needs to be right now. But anyway, yes, everything has increased in knowledge. What we know, things that you can go and find even now that's true, you couldn't even find 20 years ago. Some of the things might have been there, but they were held from you. They were held from everyone. Just as in, we think of energy. We could have had free energy a long, long time ago with Tesla, but those things were hidden from you. And they were hidden from by your authorities from us. That's because they wanted to charge for energy. Free energy is really due for everyone. Everyone in the world should have free energy. And we're coming to that. But it's not quite here. There's some things I won't really get into that right now because I don't have some things I'd like to give you to back up some things with.
Well, see, that kind of brings to mind like, something I've actually kind of thought for a while is that we're coming to a head here. What,
Yes.
Bailey?
Before you get going there, you should announce our number so
Oh,
our
yes.
viewers can call in. And also let them know to go in the chat room and sign up.
Yeah, sign up for the chat. We have to do everything for you? Ugh. Okay, hi. Our number here is 972-607-4029. You can call in. 972-607-4029. Call in, and our setup here is kind of limited and silly, but we'll be able to get questions asked and answered on the air. And also, go to well, obviously they're already, go into the chat room and sign up. Join the chat room. Join the fun, okay? And ask some questions there, and debate, argue, fight, whatever. Let's make this thing happen here. I lost my train of thought because I went into this thing about the phone number here. What were we talking about just a minute ago? You were saying.
Well, we're talking about moving forward essentially into ascension. And some people may be trying to wake up, but they don't realize they need to wake up. Sometimes, I'm going to give you some different things. If things are happening to you like this, if you find that you're having like a lot of headaches that you didn't usually have, that's a physical thing that may be happening to you because you're being worked on to progress into ascension. If you find that you have stomach aches, if you find that you have back aches, aches in your body are because of things that are happening to your physical body, because your physical body is going to go with ascension. This never happened in all of the universes. This has never happened before. That the planet and the people on it are going to go at the same time. So this is happening as we speak.
What do you mean when they're going to go at the same time?
And they're going to ascend at
Okay.
the same time into a higher vibration.
I mean, when you say that,
is
people who
going to
might be listening to this are thinking like, okay, we're just going to like rise up physically, like the rapture kind of thing. Now,
I'm not talking about rapture.
well,
at
I
all.
understand
I'm
that,
talking
but
about
they,
ascension.
you got to,
I'm not talking from a religious vein.
but you also got to understand that people aren't clued into this kind of way of thinking.
From that vein.
No, if
I
you-
don't want to propagate that vein.
I understand that, but if you were talking to somebody who's completely blank about all this kind of information, I mean, I've had the ability. I mean, I've had the luck that I've read a lot about this stuff, and although you're teaching me a lot of things here, I'm not afraid of it. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I know where you're coming from. But somebody who is completely blank of all information is going to think like, what? So I'm going to ascend. I'm going to rise up. I mean, what does this all mean?
Your vibration is rising, and with that rising vibration, you will see more clearly. You will think more clearly. You will be able to see things and do things that you've never done before because you will have a higher vibration. You will have more knowledge. You cannot be fully awake until, well, I don't really want to get into that, but you can.
Well, why not?
Well, it's too much information to give starting this late in this program, for one, and my computer's not hooked up to really give you some additional information with it.
Okay.
But we are being raised in our vibration. The earth is also being raised, and the earth needs to be cleansed of what we've done to it. And some things will happen during this ascension that we will be taken another place. We're really going into inner earth. There are light machines there that will complete whatever things that have not been done for us physically and mentally, spiritually, before we ascend. To be completely awake, we have to do those things. Go into inner earth, in the light chambers, and then we will have all knowledge at that time. That's a lot of information. I'm not giving you enough to fulfill that. So
Yeah, because that's kind of,
that's a whole step in itself.
You're
and two
thinking
or three,
inner earth,
two
you
or
think-
three steps here.
you like journey to the center of the earth kind of thing here.
Well,
When you say inner earth, you mean like physically inner earth or just kind of
Oh yes,
spiritually?
Inner Earth. All the planets are empty. They're hollow. All the planets are hollow. Inner Earth is a beautiful place actually, and it has its own sun there. It's more of a tropical place, but all the planets, when Earth will be tropical or semi-tropical when it's completely redone also. But in order for that to happen, you don't want to really be here when that happens because there will be some things you don't want to deal with. Let's say earthquakes, waters rising, things like that. You don't really want to deal with that. So you'd rather be ascended to a point where you can be taken to inner earth. Inner earth people are called Agarthans.
Or called, I'm sorry, what?
They're called Agarthans.
Agarthans?
Agarthans. That's a race of people that they are. And if you want to get more knowledge, go ahead and do that. I can't educate you in all of that tonight.
Because you have no online capability right now.
Well, plus it takes a lot to absorb everything that I'm telling you.
Well, particularly when I'm thinking, I'm also a fan of science, which tells me that there can be nothing in the earth except for, well, I don't know, a hot iron nickel core,
The
hot
Earth is
magma,
actually
and
hollow.
rock.
It's 800 miles, I believe, and then you get to the hollow part of the earth.
Is what?
800 miles until you get to the hollow part of the earth.
Okay, but still, you're talking about like outer core, inner core, and
That's inner earth is hollow. I mean, that's where the Agarthans live.
that's 800 miles down.
Mhm.
So how? I mean, What's
There's
after
a
that?
point in the earth, and it used to be easier to get into it than it is. Now, the first person that you and I would know of, okay, I'm just saying that we would know of, that made that trip was Admiral Byrd of the U.S.
Went to
Air
the,
Force.
Went to the North Pole.
Yes, he had a mission he was on. But during that mission, he inadvertently, there are holes in the North Pole, there are holes in the South Pole.
I've heard of
Okay?
this too. Yeah.
And before this happened, it was easier to gain entrance into inner Earth before Byrd went down. He was taken down. He was flying on a mission for the U.S., okay? And then he got over this circle in the north,
Uh-huh.
and he was drawn into inner Earth by the Agorithms, okay?
Okay.
His plane was taken over. You can read this. It's factual knowledge. You can read it on the internet. He was told by the U.S. government not to say anything about what happened until he died. He was ready to tell the Americans everything that went on, but he was stopped. And he couldn't believe that no one would tell the Americans what was really there. He was so
Okay.
excited.
But
to
from the
tell
North
them.
Pole, there was a tube downward into.
Yes,
But the North
exactly.
Pole is actually just water.
Exactly. It's not just water there. It's a beautiful place. And they're very much more advanced than we as humans are. They live on inner Earth, we live on the outer Earth. But they're more advanced than we are. Way more advanced. Now, he was taken into inner Earth, and you can back this up. You can go on Google, you can do it anywhere you want to, and find out about Admiral Byrd and what happened to him. And look up that information for yourself and get some knowledge there before we talk
Okay.
again, because that would be very good to do that, and we'll have a more of a same ground as where we're both talking and thinking from. But that's common knowledge. But it wasn't common knowledge for a
I
long time. In fact, it was.
Honestly,
it
don't
was
think it's
hidden.
common knowledge now.
Well, it may not be because everybody's not searching, but I research constantly. But it's common knowledge now if you know where to go and you know where to look for. So just look up Admiral Byrd and Hollow Earth or Inner Earth. The knowledge is there now. It didn't used to be. But the internet has opened up a lot of things for us that was hidden from us. Didn't mean it wasn't there. It was just hidden from us.
Okay. Let's write that down. Admiral Byrd
was
and
the
Inner
first
Earth.
person that any humans are going to know that went into Inner Earth. And he tells about his experiences. He tells what happened. He tells how they had tractor beams to bring him down into Inner Earth where they were, because he was right over the North Pole. And there's a South Pole where you used to could enter and exit from both those points, but it's not as easy now. And you can read what's happened. I don't want to tell everything right now. I could tell you for a long time what happened there. But just go get some knowledge yourself on Admiral Byrd and the Inner Earth.
All right.
It's a lot of information on the web itself about that.
Okay. I mean, I'll
And you can
look that up.
verify those things yourself very easily with that. But that's just one thing. But that's actually where we're going to go. As part of our ascension process is Inner Earth, or Hollow Earth. And they will have light chambers for us. We'll be in the light, and until you go to the light chambers. And there's a lot of work you can do here on the earth before you go think about doing anywhere, okay? Do that work. Work on getting your vibration raised. You can do those things yourself. Work on being in contact with your higher self. Your higher self has all the answers for you. You have a different journey than I do. I have a different journey than you do. I have a different journey than Bailey has. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone came here with a contract to fulfill. I can't fulfill yours. You can't fulfill mine. And I can't fulfill Bailey's. Everyone has their own, but you must search to find out what yours is. You need to find out what your contract is.
My contract.
You have a contract. Everybody had a contract before they came here. And you need to find out what that contract is and fulfill your contract.
Okay, is that kind of like along the lines of, we chose our parents, we chose our life, and we chose what we're going to learn,
Yes.
that kind of thing?
Yes, you did choose your parents, and your parents chose to be your parents. You had a contract with them, and you had a contract to do what the Lord of Creation, you had a contract there. It's what you needed to do here to fulfill what you need to fulfill here and also push you forward in creation. Okay?
All right. Well, you know what? Let's go back over here and hi, it's me again, Smokin Jim. It is 8:03 p.m. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. So stick with me here. There we go. Grateful Dead. Good stuff. Smokin Jim Show. It's March 23rd. Cold and wet and rainy outside. We have Judy here as our guest. Bailey is a regular here, producing and writing as we speak. So stay with us here. We'll be back soon. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi, welcome back to the Smokin Jim. That's the best show. Smokin Jim Show. It is 8:16 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the Big P of Plano, Texas. It's 23rd of March, and it is cold and wet and rain. And you know what, Bailey? I just might actually burn some firewood tonight. I've got some firewood left over from when we had our guests here. We're discussing their wedding. And I'm thinking, like, if there's another cold day here before the hot spring weather comes in, I'm just going to burn that firewood tonight, I think.
There you go, but it's not really cold.
I'll have to open the windows.
Turn the AC
It's not really cold in the house so much, but if I open the windows, it'll chill it down a bit. I got to burn the firewood.
comfortable now.
I have to say, the fan blowing on me does make me cold.
Actually, because the kitchen window's open as well. So,
But it's
Fine.
comfortable in here. Don't leave it. Judy said she's comfortable.
but she's like this.
No, I'm sitting here.
I'm just sitting here. I'm fine.
Now,
Don't
I'll
worry
tell you
about
what I did
me.
yesterday, I made a big bad mistake.
You got out of bed?
Well, that too. Before I went to work, I made sure that I turned the heat. I always turn the heat to 70 degrees. I turn it up a little bit in the morning.
Right. That's what I do.
Turn it back down.
Only 68 or 67.
Well, my cats, I have two cats that are old. And one of them is just, poor old.
Yeah, the cats are old. Yeah.
She's 16, and you can see that she has arthritis
Yeah,
and stuff. And if
yeah.
it's too cold, she can't walk. So I feel 70 is a pretty good temperature. So I turned it down the night before because it was so warm in there. Actually, maybe it was a couple nights ago. It was 75 degrees in the apartment, and I had the doors and windows open. Wow. So I went to bed, and I had all the doors and windows open, turned the heat down, and actually I turned the heat off. I got home from work, and it was 65 degrees in there. Poor Opal was curled up. Her little ears were frozen. Zena is under the covers of the bed. She's cold. So I see my kitties are going faster.
Been going faster.
Everything is going
I
faster.
see them aging quick. They're aging very, very quickly. They're going through changes that Willow didn't. I don't remember Willow going through, or my other animals.
I don't know, but your cats are a little slower. Slower than Eddie. Eddie's only, like 9 maybe. He's still got a lot of spry years left in one of the words right now. But whenever I go over to her house, of course, Opal's deaf as a post, so she doesn't even know I'm there until I sit on the sofa next to her. She pops her head up.
You know what's funny?
And Zena will come out when she hears me, though. And Zena will come out and just kind of sit there,
Yes.
kind of like a
Now,
dolphin.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Oh, I lost my internet. That's why.
The question is, where's the internet?
Where has my internet gone?
I don't know why the hell we're having such trouble with the internet today. Mine's
To
fine.
get online. I need a key.
All right. My question is, Judy, people are angry today. They're angrier now than
True.
they have been in the past.
True.
And they're like I was saying earlier, it's like they have blinders on. They don't
They
see
do.
anything. It's like tunnel vision. Even people on the roads are like this. They don't even know that you exist.
Right.
And what do you think? Do you think it's because they know something's going on and they're afraid, or they don't know what's happening? They feel something and they don't know what it is.
They're probably asleep. There are a lot of people around you, and you may be one of that audience. You may be totally asleep, but you may be one of the people that have discovered in the last time that you need to maybe think things differently than you thought in the past. That maybe what you've been taught is not really correct anymore. That's someone who's trying to wake up.
That's very good advice.
As far as things, people driving down the road ignoring you, people coming in the door and being so mean, or anywhere they're being more mean, well, that is true. But then time has actually sped up. So we're going faster, 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 faster as far as time. And we're doing everything to fill up every minute of the hour, day or night that we can, instead of being calm, instead of being peaceful. we're in this hurry to do whatever it is. Just like sometimes we'll be headed to a red light and someone will go zoom past you and then screech on the brakes because they can't go through the red light. Well, you know what? You got there just the same time they did.
Uh-huh.
But you were more peaceful about it, okay? And you didn't have road rage to get there, to stop because you had to stop. Time is really going fast, and people are still going just like a sparrow, faster, 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 faster. And that's part of that. But they're asleep, and they're waking, and in their wakeful time they're asleep, in their nighttime they're asleep. To go through this process and all these processes we've been talking about tonight, you need to awaken. You need to wake up.
Okay,
Because
may I
this
interject
is a
here?
different day and time.
It seemed I've tried to make this point before, but I can't remember why I couldn't go finish with it.
You sleeping?
Maybe it seems to me, and we talked about this with the ladies, the Chandlers last week. Excuse me. That it seems that there's so much turmoil going on, and it's kind of like, forgive the metaphor, a big zit coming to a head. Like it's getting painful, it's getting hurtful, and it's going to pop, and it's all going to heal. So I'm getting this impression that the people who are, well, for want of a better term, pricks.
What?
Jackie, okay, I'll say something that's less obnoxious. Mean people. Like those who are just not caring, not seeing, not even trying.
They're asleep.
Well, whatever the reason is, they can be perceived as just
Oh, sure.
a-holes,
Sure, I
okay?
understand that.
But it seems to be happening more and more, and not just on a personal level.
It's every level.
It's
Let me
well, wait,
tell-
but
let
like
me tell
the
you
gunfight,
and
the gun
audience
people
that-
getting killed with guns. I mean, it's the violence and like in the Middle East and all the protesting, but it's kind of like boiling up to a point. It's going to pop, and it's going to finally heal. This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm thinking. All right.
Let's not go into that tonight because there's a lot more to that. But this is what I want to leave with everybody before I get off here tonight. And if you'll do this little experiment for yourself, you'll find that a lot of things will change for you. Take magic markers. You can take a little bit of them, you take a big fat one. I don't care. You may need both. I took 2 sizes. Go through your house. Everything that you have that you use, put the word love on it. This will change everything around you, and you won't realize how subtly some things have changed until one day you open a drawer and you go, oh, something's on my underwear. Oh yeah, I remember. I wrote the word love on there. And you feel so
Wait a
good.
minute,
You
on my
makes you
under-
smile so big.
On my underwear.
In everything you own.
Suppose I get into an accident and have to go to the emergency
Well,
room.
what a word to have on your underwear. How wonderful.
Oh God, I'll be on the
But
news.
This is what I'm saying to you. Listen closely. I've worked with energy since 2005. And whatever you put this word on, it will change the actual energy or vibration of that product. Put it on your TV. Put it on. If you look at my computer, I've got every corner. The word love is written on every corner of my computer.
I have it on mine.
Okay. I see. I already told her. I already told Bailey.
I had you.
I didn't know you didn't
Wake
tell
up,
you.
Jim.
She probably tells you. But if you'll do that, put it on everything. I put it on all my canned goods. I put it on my computer. I put it on my furniture. I put it on my sheets, on my underwear, on everything. Everything of food. Put it on everything you have. That word will begin to change the vibration of everything you write it on. I'm not kidding you.
I'm going to put it on the van.
Yeah, put it on your van.
Put it on
My boss
everything.
would
Why don't you put it on your boss?
Yes. And everything that's going to go in your
Why don't you write it on your boss?
It'll come off. But you can write his name on a piece of paper and do the same thing. But I'm telling you, it will begin to change things for you. So things like you said that they really kind of hurt your feelings when she did that. I know when the one you were talking about, but they won't bother you so much. Okay.
Well, you know, it bothered me for a moment, but I let it go.
Okay, that's good because you have to let go of all these old things that you carried around.
Yeah, I don't want to hold on to stuff like
No,
that because
no.
it's too much of a burden. It's filling me up.
See, I've got a big issue with that kind of thing. I have like things from like 40 years ago.
Get rid of them.
Oh well, if it were that easy for
Get rid
me,
of 'em.
well, how? I mean,
Get rid of 'em.
oh, okay.
You
Well,
understand
I,
it's that easy, okay?
yeah,
It's that
right.
easy.
But it's not that easy.
It is. You just
It's
don't
easy if
think
you
it
know
is.
how.
Do it. Get rid of them.
You can do it anyway.
Right, but
Well,
it's
look,
these things pop into my head. You know, when I
You
say
will
"go
get-
away,"
you
you're
will
no
get-
longer needed. You're no longer important. Get out of my head.
Exactly.
And
you'll
they
get
come back the
lighter
next
and
day.
Lighter, and your spirit gets lighter, and
Keep
the
doing
world
it.
gets lighter. The more
Ugh.
you give away or do away with.
And keep doing it. And
Exactly.
eventually it'll
Do
go
it every
away and
day.
stay
Do it
away.
every week, but keep doing it. Don't ever stop getting rid of things.
Exactly. Now look at little D. I mean, look how easy it was for me to get rid of little D. Little D is my ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
Oh, like what the hell is that? Oh yeah.
Little D. You have the big D and a little D. Big D is jealous.
but you will find that
Oh.
a lot of things will change for you if you'll begin to do that on a daily basis. Now, if you'll go, I did all these things of writing on everything. I did that in one day. I got through everything in one day. And when you bring things in, remember, write on those things again. Write the word love on those things again. And you'll see that things will definitely begin to change for you. That does change how those things react to you and inside you. And it's just marvelous. It's marvelous. That's
So in
something
other words,
I
you know,
like for
it's not
everything
the
that-
actual word "love" on a tin can that's doing anything. It's your
Yes, it is. It's the
no,
vibration
it's
of that
your
word.
putting it on there that
There's
does
nothing
it.
higher than the vibration of that word.
Yeah, but it's not the ink on there. It's you doing it that makes the difference.
No, it doesn't. It's not. You're not right. It's the vibration.
I'm always right.
No, you're incorrect. I'm sorry. It's the vibration of this word. You can write it in the air. You can change in the air, but you write it. You're changing the vibration of whatever you're writing it on. Now I know that because I've worked with energy since 2005. In fact, I went down to Houston and I gained knowledge on using an energy machine at that time.
An energy
And you
machine.
can- yes. And you could take that machine. I could take your energy by several ways. I could take it from any photo from you, whether it was a baby photograph or whether it was a photograph now or in between. Wouldn't matter. Your energy is your energy. Now, I could take it and I could take cancer out. I could take sore throat out. I could take whatever it was. I could remove that. Or what it was actually doing was changing the energy of those things in your physical body. Okay? Energy can be
Okay,
changed.
so is that like
Energy
psychic
can be
healing?
altered. No, it wasn't psychic healing. It had an actual machine we did it with. But I can take your machine by a photograph. I can take it by your voice. Your energy is coming through your mouth. Your energy is portrayed in a photograph. Doesn't
Right.
matter what your age. Your energy is your energy. It's forever is your energy. Well, you know, when you lose this physical body, you still got the energy.
So those
Energy's
tribes
there,
that
it
are
never
afraid to
goes
have their
away.
photograph taken because they're afraid it steals their soul were, you know, kind of half right.
They were kind of on the right track there.
Yeah.
Because you would have their photograph, you would have some of their energy. And you could change it. You can take a photograph. You can write the word love on it. If that person doesn't
Okay, I'm
like
sorry. That
you,
sounds like voodoo.
well, I don't care what it sounds like to you. I'm telling you what works.
Well, no, it still sounds like voodoo.
Well, I don't like to say that about that because it's not true. But
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad
just
thing. It
take
just
a
sounds like
photograph
voodoo.
of someone who doesn't like you. Write love all over it. And I think you'll see that that person may change their mind about you, or at least not hate you.
Now, I have to say, I have been talking to Archangel Michael every morning on my way to work. I ask him to take, keep me safe and everything. My
But he still
vehicle-
doesn't fix your van.
No, but my
I'm sorry, I'm
family and I
joking.
are very safe.
Uh-huh.
But I've been asking him to please send these guys at work love and light. And these guys are actually starting to loosen up again. You ever
Everybody
know-
at work, even those who show up late.
We don't actually have an issue. I'm the one with the issue.
Okay.
I have an issue.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
And if I can get over the issue, then things would be hunky-dory until the job is lost.
Yeah.
But since I've been talking to Archangel Michael to please do this for me every single day, it's getting better every day. I mean, I didn't see improvement the first week, but now I'm starting to see it. Every day it's a little better, The energy there is not as cold and it's not as angry. Angry's not the word I'm looking for. It's like not as
Pretentious.
yeah, it's different.
Mhm.
And
All right.
even the guys on nights are starting to talk to me, and they're sharing again, and this is different. Even the guys I directly work with have started changing. So, I mean, that's a form of energy, isn't it?
Sure.
Everything is energy, isn't it?
Well,
But you can do that energy yourself.
yes, but
And
I,
picture those people just where you are with your mind. And take your finger and write on their forehead the word love. Write on their heart the word love. I'm telling you, it works. And there is nothing that you can pull up that is greater than the word love. There's nothing greater than that one thing. Now, this is another thing I like to leave with everybody too. This when I tell people this, that, oh, I know how to do that. I know that. No, you don't. But you think you do, and that's enough for me because the more you think about it, the more you learn. I said, like, you need to get to the point where you can honestly say to yourself, everything is one. Everything in the world is one.
I'm working on that.
And you
I'm
part of
working on
that
it too.
one. And that's like, okay, you've already agreed, I know that. But then from this point on, you have knowledge of this. You have real knowledge of this because I've given you that real knowledge. Now you can't ignore it. You cannot do it. And you will begin to see things that happen in your life and say, oh, I didn't count that. I didn't think about that. And that it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until finally you're going to realize this is so huge. This is so huge and it's so real, and I have to do this every second of my life. And when you get to that place, you don't have any problems.
Well,
that'll be nice,
would
but
probably be an addiction. Because I know
Wonderful addiction.
meditating for me is now, it's becoming an addiction. It's like a
Good.
habit. I have to do
Good.
it.
Good.
Now, before we leave, Jim, you had a question, and I don't think you asked it yet. You wanted to know, is there a process to stop your brain from working?
that's,
While you're meditating.
I've been thinking about that, and that is an absolute impossibility. My brain will never shut down. Even years after I'm dead, my brain will still be like, it'll be following me around, following people around, just chasing them.
Your brain won't, but your energy will be there.
I know, I was making a joke. Judy hasn't been here very much, so she doesn't know my sense of humor. Well, the point is that Bailey tells me often about, I gotta go to the phone. I'm gonna meditate for a while. Oh, I was trying to meditate today, and I saw this, and I felt this, and I'm like, isn't that great? And I think I wish I could sit and have a time when I can just kind of slow down and just have things come to me, like
You
the
can.
universe, the energies. Yeah, I know I can, but
You said you wish you could. You can.
yeah, okay. I wish I could figure out how to do it. Is what I should be saying then, because my brain just keeps going around and around and is running like Niagara Falls, and I'm thinking, like, how can I slow down this magnificent brain and just I can't focus on something that I concentrate. And if I do, I know a couple of tricks to like slow myself down, but it makes me I drop
Okay.
off to sleep.
Now this is a good one.
All right.
Last year, I was having trouble trying to focus. And I've been doing this, trying to meditate, to get to this point where I am right now, for a year and a half, 2 years, 2 years now. Maybe a little over 2 years. But last year, Jim said, well, because I was having problems sleeping, he goes, well, go to bed, relax, and envision red, an apple, and then work your way down to orange,
Oh yeah,
the
that's
rainbow.
that's how I
And you're-
fall asleep.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what you told me. Well, I laid there and I tried to envision red. I tried to see an apple. I tried to see a strawberry. I tried to see blood. I tried to see.
That figures you'd want to see blood.
Well, red is a color that will definitely keep you awake.
Oh, it kept me awake, all right. I was so frustrated, so flabbergasted over the fact that I'm angry as all hell because I can't see red, I can't see orange, I can't see blue, I can't see a single color. I could never see the big green pasture I was trying to think of. I was trying to imagine. He had me so frustrated
Yeah, I had you. It's my fault.
because I did this thing and he said he goes to fall asleep, and I was wide awake and I was angry and frustrated and I couldn't do it. I still can't lay there at night and see those colors.
You don't have.
Well, you have to just
I don't
imagine,
know.
look, you can't like see in your mind a red apple.
No,
Even I can do that.
I can't see anything like that. However, when I meditate, I see the colors now. I don't see all of them. I'm still missing a couple, I think, but I don't see yellow. I haven't seen yellow yet.
I just, okay, well, I looked at, in my mind when I was doing that same thing, I looked at a fruit tray on a bar. Maraschino cherries, freshly sliced oranges, freshly sliced lemons, freshly sliced limes. Then for the blue, I imagine where the house grew up in, that one day after the hurricane, that brilliantly blue sky, and then the violet, the lilacs off the back porch kind of stuff. But, there are images that I saw daily. It's images that are in my mind. I wasn't trying to think up something of that color. I had these things in my head. But I still can't.
Color, so this is not something you need to dwell on.
Well, the point is that doing that helped me fall asleep. Like when your body's tired but your mind is racing, envision these colors in a certain way. Because it kind of slows your mind down. It focuses it on something, and then you fall off. And the first time I tried it, I was like, I woke up like, oh wow, it works.
Well, see, if you can do that to fall asleep, and you can meditate.
Yeah, but when I try to meditate, I fall asleep.
And I used to do it too. And then one day I didn't fall asleep.
All right.
So you can do it. You just have, it takes practice. But yeah, I still fall. I told you about last week or the week before that. I had to go meditate. There was something was telling me to go meditate. So I went in there 3 different times, and twice I woke up like just drooling. Maybe they were just telling me I needed some downtime. Felt better.
Yeah.
So the third time I was able to get into a meditative state.
I wouldn't even know if I was there or not, frankly. I mean, I guess if I experienced something I've never experienced before, I would figure, hey, something new's happening here. Excellent.
You'll know.
Well, I'm just happy right now that I've been talking to angels, and certain things have kind of like popped in front of me, and I am still in the frame of mind that not that I don't deserve this, but I think it's presumptuous of me to ask for things instead of work for things. Hey, you know what, angels, I could use a bit of abundance here, especially financial abundance. Maybe the way I was brought up, and I always want to preface it or say afterwards or in this request that I don't want to find a sack of money on the street, although that would be great, but I am more than willing. I want to find a way to work for this. I want you to put something in front of me that I can say, hey, I can do that. Let me do that, and I'll work, and I'll make the money this way.
Okay, let me ask you this. How do you know?
Speak up a little bit into your mic, honey.
Let me ask you this. How do you know that already they're not telling you lots of things that you're just not capable of listing?
Well, I think they are telling me things, and I think I've heard of quite a few things, and I'm acting on them. I mean, the whole, you weren't here, God, if you had just known, the past month and a half has been really a huge upheaval for me as far as losing my job. And it was a shock, and it hurt. And, that first night Bailey was on the phone with me, I was bawling just because I don't know, this is what I did, this is who I am. And it's not who I was, but it's what I knew. And I think just having it taken away from me was the biggest problem. And I'm still dealing with that. Even if this place called me back right now and said, hey, you know what, we made a mistake, we want you back, and we'll pay you even more money, I would not go. Because I knew it was a dead end. And I knew I had to do something else. I just didn't know what. And the universe, angels, whomever they are, kicked me in the ass right out of there. And so I started again at something else. So I'm making a fraction of the money I made, but that's okay. I have enough money with tenants to keep the house. I've got to be very careful with how I spend, which is another lesson, I think. And Bailey brought this up, and I think she's right, that they were showing me. And it's okay. And the thing is, I don't dread going to work. And I didn't dread it before, but I would shit, I got to go to work today. All right, let's go. But, and I'm not hopping in the car hey, get to go to work. Woo! But I'm like, hey, it's not making me feel bad to go to work. I get kind of bored sometimes, but I think it's a start over point, and I think they are showing me a lot of other things that are coming my way. Bailey and I are looking into another opportunity, that was shoved in front of me 3 or 4 times within a couple of days, email and other things, and then a woman walked right in front of me. I was driving to work one day, and on the way I'm talking to, I can't remember which angel it was. Anyway, I said, you know what, I could, use some abundance. Just, give me, show me something that I can recognize, that I should grasp onto, that I can do, that I would, can do and be happy with. And I had already thought about this certain thing. I'm not going to bring it up on the air here, but I thought this could be something that could work. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of a work-at-home kind of project on the internet. And I thought, well, maybe this is something. And I kind of thought about that as I was talking to the angels. And I got to work, and not half an hour after I get to work, in the lobby of this building, this woman walks in front of me with a little button on her shirt. And I was like, what is that? He said, oh, well, this is such and such. And it's like the exact same thing that I've been thinking of. And, of course, everything went boink. I'm like, in my head. And I said, all right. Okay. I was like, okay, fine. You've told me. I think the next morning I got an email just out of the blue from some, thing you just like, boop, delete automatically when you see it. But it was the same thing. I'm like, okay, you're telling me this is like 3 or 4 times during the past 48 hours. Okay, you've told me. So I'm listening. I'm paying attention. And I talked to this woman, and she and her husband came up to my house, and Bailey was here. And we went over this whole kind of thing. And we're thinking about it, but it's
going to your higher self, because your higher self knows.
I wish it was like as easy as like walking out my front door, going into a higher
It
self.
won't be, but you have to get used to doing that.
If it were
You
something
try
as easy,
once in a while,
like
it's not like a routine.
I know, but
It's
somebody
not
can
like a
show me.
pattern.
When you're a kid, somebody teaches you how to ride a bicycle. They hold on to you, and they hold
They can
until you do
that
it
just
yourself.
one time, no.
Yeah, but it's something that you can physically feel and see, and you can experience. It's not something so etheric or so it's so open to interpretation. It's okay, but open. Go to your higher self. Oh, okay. Well, I would like to.
Nobody else can do it, but yeah.
Yes, I get that. But I'm still like, it's easier for me, easier said than done. I would really like to, but
Everything's not going to be easy, but that's one of the most important things you can do.
all right.
See, you and I have to figure out how to do that. But I do have a question, because, see, sometimes it's like the angels showing Jim this thing so many times. I think I am missing what I'm being told. I think the angels are telling these things, and I'm missing it. Because I have birds. The birds are just incredible. The birds are getting worse. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, they're not just like flying like this. They purposely fly in my view, in my vision,
Oh,
to the point where,
real birds, not just
yes,
images.
real birds.
Sure.
Right, that's that was
You're talking about
Everything
those
is
the other
one.
day.
right.
Remember, everything is one.
Yes, but I don't understand what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. So as soon as I see a bird doing this stuff, doing something that's weird, I just breathe and I try to focus. It's like, what are you telling me? What am I supposed to be looking for? What am I paying attention to? And I don't see anything.
That's
don't-
your higher self. Your higher self is within you. Your higher self is interior. And you find out the most knowledge not by talking, but by listening. You get the most knowledge and usually the most pertinent knowledge in silence.
Okay.
In silence, there is God.
Well, whatever you're calling the creator,
Mm-hmm.
the creation of everything, but you're part of creation of everything.
You're part of God anyway, right?
You are a part of the one, and the one is everything. And let that just resonate for a week or two and see what things are constantly added to that. Then you'll be real surprised.
Well, that's gonna be my new thing. Tonight, I'll go home and I'll sit in my little chair inside my closet and I don't know why the closet's that comfy in there.
I don't know why it's so damn funny to me.
Sometimes it just is, though.
It's very.
It's something private unto you.
Think about like the landlord coming in someday like, oh yeah, well we have some. Oh, she's like, you're in your little closet, just kind of sitting there. I'm sorry, it just sounds funny to me.
It's actually very different inside the closet. It's
Your intent is more intense.
yeah. It's almost spiritual. I mean, it's like walking
It is spiritual.
through. It's like walking through a whole new world. It's different, Jim.
Well, I can understand. You're in a place where you're kind of shutting yourself off from outside influences as well, and perhaps it's helping you to concentrate a certain way.
Maybe.
And that's what Sharon did. With that kind of alcove she made in her living room.
True. But I have to say, it's nice in there, and I think it's further away from the noise, the distractions, and the cats can lay on the bed and watch, and Cena does. She lays there, and I swear this cat's looking at something in there other than me. So I keep, and they say that orbs are more visible when it's a little darker.
No, you can get a camera and you can take pictures of orbs around you. I've done that many times.
Oh, I need my little card too for my camera.
But you can see those if you train yourself to see those. Okay, but we live in this 3D, and it says don't look at those. They're not real. Well, they are. What you're living in is not real, but those are real.
Well, what I've been working on lately is seeing aura. So maybe one day I'll get to see Jim's aura.
It's black. It's black and sparkly.
Okay.
All right.
Perfectly.
Okay.
Whatever, Jim.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyways, it's a new project. I have 2 projects that I'm working on.
Sorry, let me go
the
back
orb,
onto you.
seeing the orb, and I have to go into my seeing aura and
Aura,
going
yeah.
into my higher self and listening to it.
My project coming up this week is learning how to take the bus.
Have you been in a bus?
No, I get to ride the big fat bus. I have to walk down the street. I'm doing this tomorrow actually, just to see where how to get there and how much time I need to. With gas prices as they're going to be again up to $4 a gallon, I'm thinking like, what the hell? I've got to save money. So actually, $80 a month for a dart pass will save me some money. Save me a lot of money. Let me spend $60 a week on gas.
And that's just your gas. That's not counting your insurance for your car. It's not counting maintenance on your car.
Right.
That's not counting the tires that you're spinning around on. That's not counting anything.
Yes,
So that's a
exactly.
big expense.
So down the street and over to the bus stop, and then bus to the train, and train to work, and then back again.
Quick question.
Yes.
Quick question. I have been.
Stop
I was
looking at
just
me.
Reading. I don't know where I was reading. It could have been in my book, one of my books. But they were saying that when you're looking at stuff, sometimes you see things out of the corner of your eye. They say the corner of your eye is
It's more sensitive to light and motion than the center of your eye.
it's more like
What's the question?
what is it called? What
Peripheral vision.
Yeah, I know it's peripheral vision, but they also say it's
If you see things like that,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's, for me, a lot of times now, it's because you're developing a bigger sense of seeing itself. You're so used to seeing like you're used to thinking, and you're used to thinking in linear fashion, which is straight down, okay? And your sight is the same way. You're allowing yourself to see more. I see a lot of things out of the sides of my eyes, and when I turn around, they just kind of whoop, and they go very quickly away. But that's because you're allowing yourself to see more, okay? You'll get to the point where that's not unusual.
So
Right
is it
now
like
it's
if you believe you
unusual.
can, then you will?
It's not just that. You're able to do so much that you're not doing.
I know, but see, the thing is, when you were taught from a child that these things aren't real, these things don't exist. But as an adult, and you're learning these things, and you're getting over them, like over the negativity of it, then you actually say like, oh, I can see these things, and these things are real.
Not quite the same thing. But anyway, that is what's happening, is that you're able to see more because you're allowing more in, okay, that space to allow you to do that. There's something else I was going to say on that, and it's kind of slipped my mind here.
So it's not just a personal way of thinking?
No, it's not.
Well, it's
I mean,
like
it's got to have something to do with it.
when I was still living in McKinney and I was driving out here every day. Remember all the problems I was having? I could see, I'd be driving along and all of a sudden the sky would look like...
You'd have the universe open up at you.
It was like somebody threw a stone into the sky and made it ripple like water does.
Mm-hmm. But remember, you're living in an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you threw a pebble out there and that ripple goes in that water. But you can see more, you can hear more. I hear things all the time, and you wouldn't be hearing those things. And I know that. Okay? Your hearing increases to greater, your sight increases greater, and your knowing increases greater. Although the next person close to you won't be there doing that.
Exactly. Now, do you remember when I was still in McKinney, we went down to that one restaurant? We were taking a burger break. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Ron's.
Yeah, okay.
And you asked me, you said, why are you talking so loud?
Yes, I was like, why are you so loud? Would you be quiet?
And I said, it's all the noise. And you're like, all the noise is just...
There are like 3 people in here. What the hell are you talking about?
I said, you
Yeah.
don't hear the noise, all the machines and stuff, and that's all I could hear was all the machines running.
Yes, I do remember that, actually.
And I can't go there anymore. Every time I go there,
It brings it back.
it's so loud in there that I have to yell to hear myself.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looks at me like I'm really strange, but apparently nobody else is hearing the noise. It's ridiculously loud in there.
I can't go into noisy places. I don't like to go into big crowds. I can't take that anymore.
Well, see,
The thing is, it wasn't noisy.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
I know, but you're comparing your experience to hers,
It's
and
the
hers, she had no
same time.
noise.
I'm trying to get these two things together. But as you grow bigger and bigger in spirit, those things will happen for you. Or happen that you won't be able to do some things you used to do because of that. It takes up space that you don't want that space to be taken up. Excuse me. But sometimes before, just like you were saying, it's noisy. You don't like it. It'll keep you out of that place.
Yeah.
I hear things that nobody else hears sometimes, and people be talking.
Huh?
Okay, but nobody else hears that.
Yeah, and I
So
can't really make out
those
what they're
things are
saying.
coming, and you'll be able to hear everything at certain points that you didn't used to hear.
Wow, that would be interesting.
That's an increasing thing that you are getting, and it's part of more knowledge that's coming. Okay.
Now, here's a good one. I don't know if you were ever around when you walked into my old apartment there in McKinney. There were times I'd walk through the front door, and it was always on the right side, my foot, and it was the same way at one of the places I worked at, in the back area, only one area in the back. I'd be walking along, and it's just like the same effect, like throwing a pebble in the water, and you get the ripples, my foot would go, just drop into this ripple, cause a ripple effect to the floor, and I didn't even see it, but I could feel it.
Is this the first apartment I met you? The first floor
McKinney.
apartment? Well, there are 2 places in McKinney I
Oh,
know.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
Okay.
Sharon's place. You walk into the front door, and in that same area, many, many times, then my right foot would just ripple into a hole. I was like, what is this? And one time, I can't remember if it was you or Sharon, but I had stepped and I literally fell into the door that went into the laundry room, and that's when I started to worry if I drive into one of these ripples that I'm seeing in front of me, will I disappear?
No, I don't think so. Now, there are places in this world that you can drive out of this 3D. I'm trying to think of.
Like a black hole with a
Yeah.
time capsule.
Well, what's the place that everybody disappears into? If you meet a triangle, that's a different vibration. You go out of the 3D to another vibration. Everybody calls it a terrible weird thing, but it's another vibration. There are places like that around the world.
Yes.
But people don't believe that too much, but that's true.
Now, a friend of Sharon's came in from England, and that was around the time things were getting real bad. I mean, like photos would pop up in the middle of the road of people.
Mhm.
So strange people I've never seen. A photo would just pop up in the middle of the road. It's like I'm doing 70 miles an hour. It's like this is not cool. When it first started happening, I'd hit my brakes. Like wow, it's just a photograph, but it's in the road in front of me.
Sounds like you might have been off balance a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, not really. It's just sometimes, too much comes and you haven't, you're not used to dealing with it at certain points. So when you get used to dealing with it and it's a balanced state, is what I'm trying to know. A balanced state. Sometimes that may be an imbalanced state period.
Well, unfortunately, I think it caused a lot of trouble with my roommate because she wanted it, and I didn't know how to share it. I tried to get her down to the pool with me one night. I said, well, she did actually, because I was telling her about the people they weren't people, they weren't really spirits, and I don't know what to call them, but I would lay there at the pool at night, everybody was gone, I was sitting there in a chair, and I'm looking at the building, and in the shadow over the main entrance to the back, I could watch. I'm going to say it was a spirit running from this side to that side to this side, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was like, what is that? So she came down and I was watching it and she couldn't see it, and I was like, well don't you see the sky? The sky would ripple and just nothing. Like how can you not see that?
Because that wasn't where she was.
And
you cannot force people to see things.
it's true.
You cannot force them to think where they should be instead of where they are. You can only give them information and let them get to that place that they need to be and that they want to be. You cannot make it happen for them.
No, you can't. You can't. But it was always interesting. I don't have that as much anymore. But that's when Colin did that. I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was a
remember what he called it.
Crystal lining. Crystal grid. It was a grid of some sort. But he said it would calm it down. Well, it calmed it down all right.
Well, the grid around the Earth has been restored. We have a grid that was in disarray because it began that way when in the time of Atlantis and Lemuria, and the collapse of those land masses went away at that time. We're going to see those again. But the grid around the Earth was secured at that time, or it was in disarray.
Okay, you know what? About 9 o'clock. About time to say goodnight.
Okay.
Yes, we have so much to learn.
Yeah, I know. I just every time I think like, wow, this is really great.
Constantly.
All these new things are happening. Yeah, well, yes, you haven't scratched the surface yet. I'm like, oh,
It's much more.
I'm too old. But then I think, no, I'm not. It's perfect time to
Never
learn.
too old.
Never too old to learn.
The spirit
Well,
is not.
I want to thank Judy for being here tonight, and of course Bailey, who is always here, always welcome. I've been meant to say she's always here. Thanks so much for coming out tonight and spending time with us here on the Smokin Jim Show. And thanks for your knowledge and your input. A lot of things we've got to try. A lot of things we have to learn and read about.
Well, everybody, please buy those permanent markers and put the word love on every piece of furniture, every piece of clothing, shoes, food, everything. And I promise you things will begin to change for you because it changes the very vibration of those things that you put the word on. You can even write it within the air with your finger. It doesn't matter. Speak it, write it, and everything begins to change for you in many different ways, even very, very subtle ways. But you will recognize those after a while.
I will do that. I will try doing that
Also
starting
remember-
tonight.
Remember that everything is one. And like I say, everybody says, oh, I know that. No, but you will from now on. And it will constantly change for you because it gets bigger and bigger and bigger from that point on. Once you receive truth, you can't let go of it. You have it.
It's almost frightening.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, hello, big boy. Eddie the cat just walked by me. Okay, well, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here on the Smokin Jim Show. And we'll be back next week on Saturday, the 30th. Actually, I think it is. And since I can do math, since today's the 23rd. And keep tuned into mykdan.com. And on Tuesday, we have Miracle Moments, right?
That's right. Juliana is back.
Juliana Adler,
Juliana Adler.
back with Miracle Moments. She has a special surprise guest.
She hasn't even told me who it is. But
It might be Jesus.
My intuition says I know, though.
We'll see what happens. Lots of stuff going on. We're starting to grow. I can feel it. Things are happening. Thanks again, Judy, for being here.
Sure.
And thank you, Bailey. We'll be back next week. Oh, you know what we can do next week, Bailey?
What?
Let's dye some Easter eggs.
Do we marbleize them?
Yeah, that's the thing. I got the kit to marbleize them. That's actually the kind of thing I got.
Oh, I want to marbleize the egg, the white also.
Whatever. You don't open the eggs, dope.
No,
You just cook.
remember the marbleized eggs I made?
Oh, yeah. When you, oh my God, was that full of rum or something?
No, Jim, there was no alcohol.
I don't remember. Okay. Anyway, next week we're going to be doing some eggs. I don't know how. But we're going to do some eggs. All right. You have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good week. I love you. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.